And we have 6 branches, P, Q, R, S, T, U. Okay, and these are branches and ratio between students studying classical music and then Western music. Fine. 31. Number of students studying music, both classical and Western, in branch P is what percent less than the number of students studying music in both in R and S together. R and S together forms what percent here? 50%. Out of 50, with respect to 50, you are asked about what percent less? P occupies 18. 18 is how much less than 50? 32 less. So it is 32 less that of 50 into 100. Answer 64. Next 32. 40% of the total students studying in Indian classical music in branches Indian classical music from P and U together are males. Okay. 40% of the students studying Western music in the same branches together are females. Okay. What is the respective ratio between total number of males studying in Indian classical music in branches P and U together and total number of females studying Western in the same branches together? You are asked about ratio between what? Male studying Indian classic, right? Male classic, female Western. This is what you are asked about. About your information, 40% students studying in Western in the same branches together are females. Western are females. What percent? 40%. 40% of what? 40% of which? Where? P and U. P and U. So P total we have 18%, and out of 18, wait a minute. Classical and Western together are ratioed 7:5. Total how many parts we have? So 12 parts is equal to 18%. 1 part is 1.5%. How many female are? How many Western music students are there? 5 parts. 5 parts will be 5 into 1.5. That will be 7.5. So out of 7.5%, 40% are female, right? And now you are asked about male classic students. Male are also 40%. Basically, need not to write 40% because numerator and denominator both are 40%, right? From these two branches, let me calculate. Oh, inka U undi kada. Okay, need not to calculate 40% here because both numerator and denominator values are 40%, so that gets cancelled. So 7.5% plus, and from U total we have 7%. So how many parts we have? 5 parts. If 5 parts is equal to 7%, female are 3 parts. 3 parts is equal to how much? 21/5? 21/5. So let me write it as 15/2 and then 21/5. Right. Next. And then about male, Indian classical. Indian classic from P, how many parts is that? 7 parts. 7 1.5 times 10.5. We'll write it as 21/2 plus. And here from U it is 2 parts. That will be 14/5. Take 10 common, LCM. 21 5 times 105, 14 2s 28. How much is our numerator? 133. Look at your options. How many are there? Only one. Enough. You also need to calculate denominator, but which is not required because there is only one option which starts with 133. Next 33. The number of students studying in Western classic music, Western music in branch Q. Number of students. So it is about male and female. From Western, that to Q. Okay. From this you need to take Western. Or what percent of the students studying Indian classic music in R. From R you need to take Indian classic, right? So this is about students, so it includes both male and female. From Q, it occupies total 15%, and in terms of parts, how many parts we have? 15 parts. And now you need to calculate Western students. How many are there? Western music students. 6 parts, in the sense 6%. Let me write it as 6%. And then R, total we have 22%. In terms of number of parts, 11 parts. 11 parts is equal to 22%. 1 part is 2%. And classic music students are 5 parts. 5 to 10. 6 by 10 into 100. 60%, right? Next, what is the central angle corresponding to the number of students studying both Indian and Western music in branch P? Branch P. So total in terms of percentage, circle, internal angle is 360 degrees. In terms of percentage, 100%. 100% is equal to 360, but you need to calculate 18% should be a multiple of 9. How many are there? How many 9 multiples are there? 2 are there. Third option, second option, third option, fourth option. 3 are there, so you have to do it. Right, how do you get 18%? 20% minus 10% of this number. 10% is 36. 20% is 72. From this subtract 7.2. 10% of this number. Right, how much? Second and third cannot be your answer, so fourth option is your answer. 18% should be a multiple of 18. Should be also multiple of 9. You have 3 such multiples are there. So 72. From 72 we are subtracting something. Answer is less than 72. As it ends with 2, that cannot be a whole number. Hence, it cannot be a whole number, hence third option cannot be your answer. Answer is definitely less than 72, hence second option cannot be your answer. Only left over is fourth one. 35. What is the difference between total number of students studying Indian classic music in branch S and T together? Indian classic from S and T. From S and T you need to take classic students, classical music students, and the total number of students studying in Western music in the same branches together. From the same branches you need to take Western music students and need to go for difference, right? So for S and T, instead of getting separate values for classic music students and then Western music students, let's go for individual difference. Yes, total how much percentage we have? 28. And T, 10%. Let's come here. Yes, out of classic and Western music students, number of classical music students are more than Western students. And for T also the same applies. Classical music students are more than Western music students. So hence, let's calculate the difference here. How much is this? 2 parts. Total how many parts we have? 8 parts. So yes, total it occupies 28%. 8 parts is equal to 28%. Difference is 2 parts. 2 parts is 1/4 of this number. Half and half. Half 14. Again half 7.5. 7%. So this is with respect to yes. And now let me calculate it for T also. T total what percent is it? 10%. So total it is 10%. And in terms of number of parts, 25 parts. 25 parts is equal to 10%. Difference is 7 parts. 7 parts is equal to how much? This is what you need to calculate. So do we have any direct multiple here? It will be definitely fraction value, right? So let me convert 10% to number. Anyway, we have to convert it to number. So 10% of what? 5,000, which is 500. So 25 parts is equal to 500. 25 20 times 720 times 140. Here difference is 7%. 1% is 50. 7% 350. Right. You need to take difference or addition. Sum. What is this? What is 7 parts? Difference. What is 2 parts? Difference. So you need to add these 2 values. What is your answer? 490. See, we are getting individual difference and then you need to add these 2 values. S plus T classic minus S plus T western. From school yes, we are taking classical music students, and from the same school we are taking western music students. Difference. This is what? 7%, 350. From school yes, classical music students, and from the same school we are taking difference of western music students, and you need to add from school T classical students and western music students. Now you need to add these two values. Next, 36 to 40. 36 to 40. 36. All. 36 in town D. Out of the total number of literates, 55% were female. What is the difference between total number of illiterate female and total number of illiterate male in town D? Right. So this is population given in 1000. So from D we have total 66,000 population. Out of this, ratio between male and female is given as 5:6. Total 11 parts is equal to 66,000. 1 part is 6,000. 5 parts in the sense 30,000. This is about male and female. So total number of male are 30,000 and female are 36,000. This is with respect to town D. And then percentage of population who are literates. Literates are 70%. 70% of what? Total population. 70% of total population. Right. Out of 66,000, you need to calculate 70%. How do we calculate 70%? 50% plus 20%. 50% of this number. 10%, 6,600. Double, 13,200. Now you need to add these two values, which is 46,200. So out of 66,000 total population, literates are 46,200. But your question is about illiterate. So now you need to take difference. Instead of that, you can directly go for 10%. You can directly go for 30%. 10% of this number, 6,600. 30% will be into 3, right? 6,000 3 times 18,000, 600 3 times 1800, total 19,800. Now, your question says, out of total number of literates, 55% are female. Okay. What is the difference between total number of illiterate female? You need that. These are illiterates. And illiterates are difference of these two. We have to calculate. Subtract 20,000, add 200. Subtract 20,000, 46,000, add 200. 46,200. Out of total literates, 55% are female. So total female who are literates are 55%. How do we calculate 55%? Half plus 10% of that number. Half of this number is 23,100. 10% of this is 2310. Total it is 25,410. 25,410. Right? So half of the number is 23,100. 10% of this number is 2,310. And if you subtract it, you'll get 45%, right? If you add it, you'll get 55%. If you subtract, you'll get 45%. And this is the count of total male who are literates. Or else you can take difference of 46,200 and 25,400 also. It's up to you. Okay. So let me first subtract 2,000. 100. 2,000 subtracted. 100 also subtracted. Now I have 21,000. Again we need to subtract 210. First subtract 200 from this. 20,800. Again you need to subtract 10, that will be 790. So total 20,790. Now, your question is about total number of literates, illiterate female, and total number of difference. Fine. Illiterates. Difference of these two will give you illiterate male, right? 9,210. Difference of these two. Subtract 26,000, add 590. Subtract 26,000, 10,000, add 590. And you are asked about difference of these two numbers. 9,000 subtracted from 10,000, 1,000. 210 subtracted from 590, that will give you 380. 1380 answer. Over? Done everyone? Same question. I am not satisfied with earlier answer. Not satisfied. This is about D, right? Right. So total population from D 66,000. Total population are 66,000. Right. Out of 66,000, what about difference between male and female? 1 part. Total number of parts? 11 parts. 11 parts is equal to 66,000. 1 part is equal to 6,000. Difference is 1 part only, right? So total difference is 6,000 here between male and female. Whose count is more? Female. And what percent of these population are literates? 70%. So you'll have to calculate 70% anyway. Out of 66,000, calculate 70%. Half plus 20%. Half is 33,000. 10% is 6,600. 20% is 13,200. So, who are literates? This is about total population, and literates are 46,200. Okay. Out of 46,200, what percent of this number are female? 55%. Then what about remaining? Who are 45% male? In that case, what is difference between male and female in terms of percentage? 10%. What is 10% of this number? 4,620. Total difference between male and female is 6,000. Out of 6,000, 4,620 are literate difference. If in that case, illiterate difference should be difference of these two number. How much is that? 1380. This is what you are asked about. Right? And everywhere female count is more. So you can go for direct difference here. Next, 37. What is the respective ratio between total number of female in town C and total number of female in town E? Ratio between female from town C and female from town E. Okay. C and E. Right. Need not to go for conversion. Total how many parts we have? Out of 8 parts female are? In the sense I can say 5/8 of total number of population from C are female. You are asked about ratio. A is to B or A by B. And from E, how many total parts we have? Out of 15 parts, 8 parts are female. So here I can say 8 out of 15, 8/15th of the total population from E are female. Now, what is total population from C? 148. So C occupies 148 into 148, and from E 75. Now let me write 75 here. This 8 comes to denominator part, right? So let me write 5 here and 8 here. Denominator in denominator comes to numerator into 15. Clear? 5 15 times 75. 75 cancel. Is it divisible by 8? No. 8 tens? 8 20 times? How much is difference between 160 and 148? 12. Is 12 8 multiple? Hence this is not a direct multiple of 8. Go for cancellation with 4. 4 how many times? 2 times. Right. 4 how many times? 3 times. And then 7 times. This is prime number, right? No more cancellations. 37 by 16 answer. Next 38. What is the difference between total number of literates? Difference between total number of literates in town A and town B together, and total number of illiterates from town C and town D together. Okay. Just be careful with the terminology. You're asked about difference. Difference of what? Literates from A and B together and illiterates from C and D together. We have direct information about literates. From A, what percent of total population are literates? 60. It is easy to calculate 60% of 150, right? Or you can say 150% of 60 also. 150% of 60 in the sense adding half of 60 to 60 itself. How much is that? 90. Thousands. Next, from B, what percent are literates? 65. 65% of what? 84. How do we get 65%? 50%. How much is 50%? Wait, how much is 50%? 42. And plus 15%. 10% is 8.4. 4%, 5% in the sense half of this. 4.2. 54.6. 54.6. And now you need to calculate illiterates. Illiterates from C and D together. From C, what percent of total population are literates? 75. Then illiterates are 25%. 25% of this number, right? Half. Half of this number, 74. Again half, 37. Plus, from D, what percent here? 70%. If 70% are literates, 30% are illiterates. 30% of this number, 10% is 6.6. 30% in the sense into 3. That will be 19.8. So now you need to add 19.8. Let me add 20 and then subtract 0.2. Add 20 here. 57. Subtract 0.2. That will be 56.8. Now we need to subtract 56.8 here. Okay. How much is here? First let me subtract 54. If I subtract 54, how much will be here? 2. 2.8. If 2.8 is subtracted from a number which ends with 0.6, your answer must end with 0.8. How many options ends with 0.8? 3 unnaya? Okay. Subtract 3. Subtract 3. Add 0.2. Subtract 3. 87. Add 0.2. 0.8. So these are all thousands, right? So you need to multiply this number with 1000. Next, what is the average of total number of female belonging to town A, town B, town C? Town A, town B, town C. Female. Right. This is about total population, not with respect to literates or illiterates. How many parts we have? 5 parts is equal to 150. Female are 3 parts. 5 30 times is 150. 330 times 90,000. Plus total how many parts we have? 12 parts. 12 parts is equal to 84. 1 part is 7. 5 parts, 5 sevens 35. Plus how many parts we have? 8. Is it 8 multiple? No, we have verified already. Right. So let me verify it. 8 10 times? Endukle? Waste. 8 parts is equal to 148. 5 parts is equal to how much? Let's do it. Malli ikkada kuda ravaliga. Need to subtract 3 8. Tappadu. 5/8 of 148. We have to do it, no other way. Wait. Let me treat it as 150 for time being. 155 times 750. If that number is 150, definitely it is 750. But it is 2 times less than 150, right? So you should subtract 5 2 times 10. 10 from 750. Total number 740 by 8. 8 9 times 72. 20 you have. Is it approximate? Wow, best fellow. Okay. 20 you have. 20 in the sense 2 times 0.5. Now, as you asked about average 90 90, 180 30, 210. Let me write 200 here and let me start with 10. 15, 17.5. 17.5, it is average by 3. 7, 2, point into 1000 in the sense 72,500 is average. Population of town B is what percent less than total population of town A and E together? B is what percent less than A and E together? A it is 150, E is 75. Total 225. So A and E together is 225. And your question is about B. So this is 84. 84 is how much less than 225? 141 less. And you're asked about percentage into 100. Look at your options first. 64, 62, 66. All are very close to each other, right? So let's calculate 60%. 60%. How do we get 60%? 50% plus 10%. Half. 50% of this number is 112.5. 10% in the sense 22.5. So total 60% gives 135. Still you need to add 6 here to make it 141. Now you need to identify 6 forms what percent here. What about 1%? 2%? 4.5. 3%? 6.75. So you need to add 6 only. So you need to add a number which is less than 3%. Answer is more than 62% but less than 63%. How many options are there? Navvaddu. Anduku navtaru. 2% is 4.5. Yes? How much you are supposed to, how much you need to add still? 1.5. Do you observe anything here? Do you observe anything here? 1/3, right? 1/3. 1/3 of this number is 2/3. Total answer? That's it. 62, 2 by 3%. Right. 41. Ram received a certain amount from his father. Certain amount from his father. He invested 2/5 of that amount for 5 years in scheme A, which offers simple interest at 12% per annum. Okay. And the remaining amount in scheme B for 2 years, which offers compound interest compounded annually at the rate of 10% per annum. Right. If the difference in total amount received from scheme B and the total amount received from scheme A was 1892, how much did Ram invested in scheme B? Right. So father is no way concerned. Father is no way concerned. First line is of no use. Let's say he received 100%. Out of 100%, 2/5 invested in scheme A. In the sense 40%. And in scheme B, obviously 60%. Answer should be a 6 multiple. No? Yes? No? Yes. Yes. 3 options are there. 3 are there. Answer should be 60%. Should be a multiple of 6. Should be a multiple of 3. 3 are there. 12,000, 13,200, 13,500. If you have only one answer, you can do it. Okay. But anyway, fine. So 40% invested in scheme A, which offers simple interest at the rate of 12% per annum. For how many years? 5 years. 12 5s, 60%. 60% of what? 40. 60% of 40 in the sense? 24%. Total you will receive 64% from scheme A. True? Next. And scheme B offers compound interest for 2 years at the rate of 10%. In the sense you will get 21%. 21% of 60. 10%? 6. 20%? 12. 1%? 0.6. Total 12.6. So amount received from scheme B is going to be 72.6%. Now you are given a number 1892. What is this? Difference. Difference between these two percentage values? 8.6% is equal to 1892. You need to calculate 60% is equal to how much? Correct? Wait. 6. 7 times or 6 times? Fine. 8.6. For time being, forget about point. 86. 2 times? 86 2 times? 172. So 8.6 10 times is 86. 8.6 100 times is 860. 8.6 200 times is 1720. But still you need to add 172. If 1720 is 200 times, 172 will be 20 times. So how much is our calculation part here? 220 times. 200 times of this number. What is 100 times of this number? 600. 100 times of this number is 600. 6,000. 200 times 12,000. 20 times 1200. Total 13,200 is our answer. Or else you need to go for cross multiplication. Just observe horizontal comparison. Next 42. A shopkeeper marked the price of an article 40% more than its cost price. Supreet purchased the same article at a discount of 20%. Let's say market price is 140%. Cost price is 100. Market price is 140. And Supreet got it 20% discount. 10% discount 14. 20% discount 28. So now you need to subtract 28. So Supreet got it for 112%. And then, but also paid VAT 10% on discounted price. Discounted price is 112. Now he paid 10% VAT. 10% of this number 11.2. So total it becomes 123.2. With respect to merchant, this is selling price. But with respect to Supreet, it is Cost price. With respect to Supreet, it is cost price. Now, Supreet then sold the article to someone for 6,776 and thereby earned a total profit of 10% on the price that he paid to the shopkeeper. Right. So, in terms of percentage, Supreet paid 123.2% to shopkeeper. And he is getting 10% profit, they said. 10% in the sense? 12.32. So, with respect to Supreet, selling price in terms of percentage becomes 135.52%, and which is equal to 6,776. Now, what was the original cost price of the product? What was original cost price of the product? Amma? 140%. 140%, right? Start your question. A shopkeeper marked, were you asked to calculate the product price with respect to shopkeeper or not? Shopkeeper is going to sell the product at what percent? 140%. He purchased it for 100%, but now he is going to sell it for 140%. Now, if you are asked to calculate the original price of the product, will you calculate 100% or 140%? 140%. మెటీరియల్ ఇస్తామా మీకు? మేము మీకు మెటీరియల్ ఇస్తామా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? దానికి ఛార్జ్ చేస్తామా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? మేము ఎంత కొంటామో అంతకే ఛార్జ్ చేస్తామా? సపోజ్ నేను బుక్ షాప్ ఓనర్ని అనుకోండి. నేను ఎంత కొంటాను అంతే మీ దగ్గర ఛార్జ్ చేస్తానా? లేదు. దానికంటే ఎక్కువే కదా వేస్తాను. రైట్. కొంత అమౌంట్ పెట్టా, ఇదే బుక్ అనుకుందాం. దీని మీద నేను మీకు 10% డిస్కౌంట్ ఇచ్చా. అంటే మీరు ఎంత కొంటున్నారు? 90%. ఒరిజినల్ ప్రైస్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోడక్ట్ అంటే నేను కొన్నదంటారా లేకపోతే దీని ప్రైస్ చూస్తారా? ఇప్పుడు దీని మీద ఉన్నదేగా చూసేది. నేను కొన్నదెంతో మీకు అనవసరం. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఇప్పుడు ఆ క్వశ్చన్ చదవండి. A shopkeeper marked the article for 40% more than its cost price. In the sense, market price of the article becomes 140, and now this is the price. If Supreet purchased it, he will purchase it for 140. Yes or no? So now you need to calculate 140%. 135.52% is 6776. You need to calculate 140%. This is just above 135%. Hence answer is just above 6,776. Look at your options. 7,000 is my answer. షాప్కీపర్ పర్చేస్ చేసే ప్రైస్ అమ్మా 100% అనేది. షాప్కీపర్ గురించి మాట్లాడంతే. సింపుల్ లాజిక్. నెక్స్ట్, ట్రైన్ ఏ ఈజ్ ట్రావెలింగ్ ఎట్ a speed of 90 km/h in the direction towards train B. The length of train B is 1.5 times that of train A. Train B is traveling at a speed of 54 km/h and crosses train A completely in 10 seconds. What is the length of the platform which train A can cross in 35 seconds? Okay. So first of all you need to know length of train A. Yes or no? Right. So here we have a train. Train A is moving towards train B, direction towards train B. The length of train B is 1.5 times, traveling at a speed. Cross. This is overtake. Okay. Both are moving opposite to each other. This is train B. Length of train B is 1.5 times of length of train A, they said. So let me treat train A length as 2x and length of train B becomes 3x. If train A and B wants to cross each other, what is the distance that they need to travel? 5x. 5x is the distance, and distance is equal to speed into time, right? Yes or no? Both the trains are moving opposite to each other, right? When they are moving opposite to each other, relative speed becomes s1 plus s2. 90 plus 54, 144 kilometer per hour. You're asked about seconds. Let me treat these 2x and 3x as meters. So I need to convert 144 kilometer per hour to meter per second. So that becomes into 5 by 18. This is speed in terms of meter per second. And what time it is taking to cross train B? Where is it given? 10 seconds. So time is given as 10. 18 how many times is 144? 8 times. 5 gets cancelled. X is equal to 80. Now your question is about train A. So what is length of train A? 2x. So 2x is in the sense 160. So train A length is 160 meters, and now it has to cross a platform, and crossed it in 35 seconds. So distance traveled in that case becomes speed into time. As it has no speed, only one speed acted here, that becomes, what is train A speed? Train A speed 90 km per hour. 90 into 5 by 18, speed in meter per second, and now it takes 35 seconds. This is total distance traveled. Total distance traveled by train A to cross this platform. What is length of train A? 160. So distance will be equal to 160 plus platform length. So let it be L. 18 how many times? 5 times. 25 into 35. 30 square minus 5 square. 900 minus 25. 875 minus 160, which is 715. Length of platform is 715. Treat 25 as 30 minus 5, and this is 30 plus 5. A plus B into A minus B. 30 square minus 5 square. 875 plus 160 goes to right hand side, becomes minus. Next 44, at present, Sumer's wife Midula is 22 years more than their daughter Kia. The difference between 4 times the age of Sumer 10 years from now and thrice the age of Midula 10 years from now will be 70. If at present Sumer's age is 6 times of Kia's age, what will be the respective ratio of Kia's age 20 years hence and Sumer's age 26 years hence? But anyway, how many persons are here? 3. Sumer, wife, daughter Kia. Fine. Midula is 22 years more than her daughter Kia. In the sense, difference of their age is 22 years. The difference between 4 times the age of Sumer 10 years from now and thrice the age of Midula 10 years from now will be 70. Let's say this is X and then this is Y. After 10 years Sumer will be X plus 10. After 10 years Y plus 10. What is given? 4 times of this number. 4 times in the sense 4x plus 40, and Midula's age 10 years from now 3 times of this. That will be 3y minus 30. How much is given? 70. From this you can say 4x minus 3y. 4x minus 3y. You have plus 10 here, that goes to right hand side, becomes 60. Fine, keep it aside. If at present Sumer's age 6 times of Kia's age. Let me write it as Kia. Kia plus 22, 6k. This is 5k. Not possible, right? 6 times that of Kia's age. Okay, difference is not given. None. Right. So last statement says Sumer's age is 6 times the age of Kia's age. Let's start with Kia, because you know difference between Kia's age and then Kia's mother's age, which is 22. Let's start with Kia, let it be K. Mother's age becomes K plus 22. And in the last statement they said Sumer's age is 6 times of Kia's age, which is 6K. And you have, before that you have one more statement. What does this say? The difference between 4 times the age of Sumer's age after 10 years. Sumer's present age is 6K. After 10 years, 6 plus 10. 4 times of that number. 4 times of Sumer's age after 10 years. In the sense 6K plus 10, which is 24K plus 40. As you asked about difference, minus. And thrice the age of Midula 10 years from now. Present age of Midula is K plus 22. After 10 years, Midula will be K plus 32. But you are asked about 3 times of this. 3K plus 96. 3K plus 96. Difference is given as 70. From this, you can get Kia's age as 6 years. Now let's substitute it. You are asked about ratio between Kia's age. What will be the ratio between Kia's age 26 years from now and Sumer's age 26 years from now? What is present age of Kia? 6. After 26 years, 32. Sumer's age 6 times of Kia's age, which is 36. After 26 years, that will be 62. Cancellation with only 2. This is 16 by 31. 16 is to 31. Next, 45. The perimeter of a right-angled triangle is 90 meters and the sum of two sides other than hypotenuse is 51. What is the length of the smallest side of the triangle? Okay. Now, right-angled triangle, perimeter is given as 90. Sum of two sides other than hypotenuse is given as 51. In that case, hypotenuse will be 90 minus 51 only, right? How much is that? 39. So hypotenuse is 39. Then what about sum of other two? Sum of these two lengths will be equal to 51. Okay. Now you are asked about least length, least value. Okay. What is the rule for right angle triangle? Pythagoras triplet. Should be Pythagoras triplet, right? So these two values must be definitely less than 39. Let me first subtract 39 from this number. What is this? 12. So these two values, one of these two values must be definitely more than 12. Definitely more than 12. They cannot be 12 and then 39, right? Yes or no? Because it has to satisfy Pythagoras triplet. Numbers should be less than 39 but more than 12. First option cannot be your answer. Yes or no? If so, if second option is my answer, if one of the length is 15, what should be the other length? Because sum of these two should be equal to 51. If this is 15, what is the other one? 36. Let me verify last digit. 6 square ends with 6. 5 square ends with 5. Total ends with 1. Total ends with 1. 39 square ends with 1. 15 right answer. If you are not satisfied, see Pythagoras, you know this, right? Opposite side square plus adjacent side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Even if you verify that, you will get the answer. మీకు తెలిసిన పైథాగరస్ ట్రిప్లెట్స్ చెప్పండి నాకు. Wait, I'll tell you. To check this whether it is a Pythagoras triplet or not. Look at these numbers. Are all 3 multiples, right? Yes or no? How many times? 12 times. How many times? 5 times. How many times? Are these 3 numbers Pythagoras triplets? These are also Pythagoras triplets. Got it? Simple. Next, 46. A mixture. A jar has a mixture of milk and water in the respective ratio 9:4. From this, 26 liters of the mixture was taken out. After that, 8 liters of pure water is added. If the final quantity of mixture is 60 liters, what is the respective ratio of milk and water in the jar? Right. Can be your answer. No. No. Yes. Yes. First option, fourth option, fifth option. 3 possibilities are there. Now, you are asked about respective ratio between milk and water in the jar. Is it in the initial container or final container? Final container. So, how much quantity we have in final container? So, number of parts of milk and water should be factor of 60, right? Is 4 a factor of 60? Is 8 factor of 60? Is 7 factor of 60? 5? That is also possible. If you have only one answer, you can answer it without even solving that. But now you need to do. Let's say I have some quantity here. I don't know number. Initial container has some quantity. From this, 24 liters of the quantity is taken out, and then again 8 liters of water is added, and now it becomes 60. Amma? 26. Okay. 26 liters were taken out and then 8 liters were added. What is final effect here? 18 liters were subtracted. Yes or no? What is total effect? 18 liters were subtracted. After subtracting 18 liters, it becomes 60. Then what about total quantity? 78. So now I have total quantity which is 78. Now in 78 liters, I have milk and water which in the ratio 9:4. Total how many parts we have? What is the milk and water ratio in initial container? How many parts? 13 parts. So 13 parts is equal to 78. 1 part is into 6. Milk is 9 parts. 9 into 6? 54. Water occupies 4 parts, which is 6 fours, 24. So total quantity is 78. From this container, how many liters of the quantity is taken out? 26 liters. 26 is 1/3 of the initial quantity, correct? Yes or no? So 1/3 of the quantity will be taken out from milk and water portion. Okay? If 1/3 is taken out, remaining will be 2/3. What is 1/3 of this number? 18. Remaining will be 2/3. 18 to 36. 1/3 of this number is 8. 2/3, 16. Now this is the quantity left with us. After subtracting 26 liters from the initial container, 26 occupies 1/3 of 78. So 1/3 of milk and 1/3 of water is taken out. Now we have 36 and then 16 liters of milk and water respectively. Now to this container again they have added 8 liters of water. Now if you add 8 liters here, what is total quantity of milk in the container? 36 and water 24. Is sum is equal to 60? Yes or no? Hence this is right. What is ratio here? 3:2. Cancellation with 12. A tank has 3 inlets, 1 outlet. A takes half the time taken by B to fill the empty tank completely, and C takes 1.5 time taken by B to fill the empty tank completely. Also, the time taken by D to empty the full tank is double the time taken by B to fill the empty tank completely. If the time taken by A to fill the empty tank completely is 3 hours, how much time will it take to fill the tank if inlets BC and outlet D are opened simultaneously? So what do you need to know here? What do you need to know? The initial time taken by 3 inlets A, B, C to fill the tank, individual times, and then outlet D. You need to know the time taken by outlet to empty the full tank. You need to know the timings. For that you are given comparison A, B, C, D. And overall information says A, tap A, if the time taken, here, look at here, if the time taken by A to fill the, which tank? Empty tank completely is 3 hours. In the sense A takes how much time? 3 hours. A takes 3 hours time. And now here it says a tank has 3 inlets. Now forget about it. Now, look at here. A takes half the time taken by B. In the sense B takes 6 hours. Then only 3 will be half of this number. And next C takes 1.5 times the time taken by B. Time taken by B is 6. 1.5 times of this number is 9. And D, the time taken by D to empty the full tank is double the time taken by B. Double the time taken by B in the sense 12. What is D? Outlet, which does negative work. Remaining are inlet work. Inlet in the sense that does positive work. So now we have 3 pipes B, C, D opened. Forget about A. 1 hour work of B 1/6. 1 hour work of C 1/9, and 1 hour work of D 1. But this is outlet which does negative work. LCM 36. 6 times, 4 times, 3 times, 7/36. Answer 36/7. 5, 1/7 hours. You can even use units method also. You can use units method also. B takes 6 hours, C 9 hours, D 12 hours, which is an outlet pipe. LCM is 36 units. B does 6 units, C fills 4 units, C empties 3 units. So in 1 hour, they can fill 7 units. To fill 7 units, they need 1 hour. To fill 36 units, which is our total work, how much is time required? 36/7, which is 5, 1/7. And here also, after getting this, you need not to solve it. Just look at your options. If you have only one option which ends with 7 in denominator, that is your answer. We have 2 options, so you are forced to do it. You know that your denominator is 7, right? Yes or no? And 7 is a prime number and you don't have any factors. Either answer should be a whole number or a mixed fraction whose denominator becomes 7. If you have only one such option, don't do this calculation also. Go for it. Next. In an election, only 2 candidates contested, 25% of the registered voters. You know election system, right? Total population, then total population, then registered voters, then who have casted their vote, who have used their vote, right? And then valid votes, and then valid, invalid, me pade. Contestants are going to share valid votes, right? If you have valid votes, indirectly it says. If you have valid votes, indirectly it says you have invalid. If you have registered voters, indirectly it says you also have not registered voters, right? మరి ఇక్కడ valid invalid అన్నప్పుడు ఇక్కడ registered not registered అనలేదే. Come on. Fine, this is a basic system. In an election, only 2 candidates contested. 25% of the registered voters did not cast their vote, and 235 votes were declared invalid. The winner got 72 votes more than his opponent. The number of valid votes received by the winner is 35% of the number of registered voters. How many registered voters casted their vote? How many registered voters casted their vote? 25% of the registered voters did not cast their vote. Yes or no? So what percent have participated then? 75%. So finally you need to calculate 75%. Yes. No. 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 2445 answer. You need to calculate 75%. Answer should be 75 multiple. 75 is 3 multiple. Yes or no? You have only one 3 multiple. Remaining options are not multiples of 3. So I'll go with this. Satisfied? No. మీకు చెప్తానమ్మా, మీకు తెలుసుగా నాకు. కొత్తగా వచ్చినట్టయితే నాకు అర్థం కాకపోవచ్చు కానీ. Come on, let's say we have 100% registered voters. Out of 100%, 75% have participated in it. In the sense, 75% of the voters have casted their vote. 25% of the voters did not cast their vote. In the sense, 75% have casted. And 235 votes were declared invalid. Now let me subtract 235 votes from this. What is this number? Valid votes. So contestants are going to share this number of votes, right? Now how many contestants are there? 2. The winner got 72 votes more than his opponent. Okay. First let me subtract that extra 72 votes that winner got. Okay. Now what is this? What is this? Total valid votes, but we have subtracted 72, right? Let's say this guy is winner and this guy is loser. Loser gets X votes and winner gets X plus 72 votes. We have subtracted 72 votes. In that case, what is this? 2x. If you take half of this number, you will get number of votes received by loser. But I want to calculate winner votes. So what do I need to do? Plus 72. Clear this? Now, last line says, number of valid votes received by winner is 35% of total number of registered voters. What is total number of registered voters in terms of percentage? 70. 100%. Out of 100%, 75% have casted their vote. Yes or no? So which is equal to 35%. Take 2 common. This becomes plus 144. Yes or no? Correct? plus 72. 2 comes to this side. 70% is equal to 75% minus 235 plus 72. 70 goes to this side. 5% is equal to 235 minus 72. Subtract 100, add 28. Subtract 100, add 28. 163. What is that you are asked to calculate? 75%. Yes or no? How many registered voters cast their vote? 75%. Okay? How many times? 15 times. 10 times of this number? 1630. 5 times in the sense half of this? 8, 1, 5. How much is this? 2, 4, 4, 5. Satisfied? Fully? See, when you are looking for 75%, answer should be 75 multiple. Answer should be 5 multiple. Answer should be 3 multiple. And you have only one 3 multiple. 2, 4, 4, 5 is the only 3 multiple. And remaining options are not multiples of 3. Hence, this is your answer. See, getting answer is not important. Don't complicate this. The simple logic. Anyway, 49. A starts a business investing certain amount of money. B joins A after 4 months from the start of the business by investing twice the amount of money invested by A. Let's say A invested X rupees, B invests 2X. At the end of 4th month, C joins A and B by investing 1.5 times the investment of A. So I'll start with 2X, this becomes 4X, and it becomes 3X. I don't want to use 1.5 here. Decimals and fractions, don't use decimals and fractions in your simplification. Okay? Next. It was agreed that the working partner would receive 5% of the total profit and also the share according to the investment proportion from the rest of the profit. Yes. Profit at the end of the year, 1 year, recorded was 20,400 and A was the only working partner. How much more or less did B receive than A? Okay. So business happened for only 1 year, in the sense 12 months. A will be there for 12 months. B joined after 4 months. So he will be here in the business for 8 months. C joined after 8 months. So he was there for 4 months. 24? 24? 12. Ratio? 2:1. 32. Okay, got it. Fine. 4. 3 times. 4. 4. No more cancellation. So 6:8:3. So total how many parts we have? 17 parts. So A is a working partner. So let me calculate the amount received by A. A as a working partner receives 5%. What is 10% of this? 2040. 5%? 1020. So A receives 1020. And they are going to share remaining profit. How do you get remaining profit? 2,400 minus 1,020. So that will be 19,380. 19,380. Okay? Now, 19,380 is 17 parts. 17 parts is equal to 19,380. What is your actual question? What is your actual question? You are asked about difference between A's share and then B's share, right? Now, what is difference between A's share and B's share? Who is getting 2 parts more? B is getting 2 parts more. So I just need to calculate 2 parts, right? Let me calculate 2 parts here. 17 once, 17 one time, You have 23, again 1 time, 58, 4 times, and then 0. So one part is 1440. B gets 2 parts more in the sense 2280. Yes? Now, A being working partner is getting 1020 rupees separately, and B, in terms of his share, he is getting 2280 rupees more than A. You're asked about difference. I think you just need to take difference between these two numbers. 1260. Who is getting more? B. B gets 1260 more. B gets 1260 more. Next, 50th. A bag contains 8 red balls, 4 blue balls, and then 5 green balls. One ball is drawn at random, and then another ball is drawn at random without replacement. Without replacement. Okay. What is the probability that first ball is either red or blue? The second ball drawn is green color. Total how many balls we have? Total how many balls we have? 17. So out of 17 balls, we are expecting first ball to be either red or blue. How many red or blue balls we have? 8 plus 4, total 12. It is enough to get one ball either from those 12, right? So how many ways can you do that? 12C1 out of 17C1. 12 by 17. And out of 17 balls, one ball is drawn. So still how many we have? 16 only. And now out of 16, we are expecting to be that ball is green color. How many green balls we have? 5 green. In how many ways can you select one? 5C1. 5C1 by 16C1. 3 times, 4 times. 15 by 68. Next, 51 to 55. 50 into 1 minus 6, into 2 minus 6, into 3 minus 6, into 4 minus 6, into 5 minus 6. Next. That's it. Next, 56 to 60. You want? Yes or no? There are 5 colleges in University A, B, C, namely P, Q, R, S, T. Number of students in college P is 20th of total number of students in university. Okay. So P occupies what? 3/20th. Number of students in college Q is 6 by, where are we? Number of students in college Q is 6 by 25th of the total number of students in ABC. So from Q we will be having 6 by 25th. Number of students in college R is 80% of the number of students in Q. Okay. Number of students in T is, what is this? R. 80% of this. And from T we have 1309, which is 11 less the number of students in Q. This is 11 less. 11 less than number of students in Q. In the sense Q will be 1320. Let's say University ABC has 100%. 100%. Out of 100%, what is 1/20th? 5. 3/20th? 15. So this will be 15% of the total. And Q occupies 6 by 25th. Out of 100%, what is 1/25th? 4. 6/25, 24. So this is 24%. And this will be 80% of this. And to get R value, you need to calculate 20%, 80% of this number. 80% in the sense you need to subtract 20%. 10% is 132. 20%, 264. Let me subtract 300, add 36. Subtract 300,000, add 36 will be 56. And from T we have 1309. Okay. Now, if 24% is equal to, yes, kuda ravali kada, percentage lo vastadi. Fine. If 24% is equal to 1320, let me calculate 100% value. 24, 5 times? No, 24, 5 times. 24, 5 times. 120. 240 and half. 50 times 1200. Still you need to add 120. That will be 5 times. In the sense 55 times. 55 times of this number is 5500. And now out of 5500, 15% are from P. 10% is 550. Half 275. 550 plus 275, 825. And if you want to calculate students from S, add everything, subtract it from 5500. We'll do when it is required. Okay? But you can calculate that S value. 56. Out of the total number of students in college Q, these values are not required. Out of students from college Q, 25% students are pursuing computer science. 25% are computer science, and respective ratio between the total number of male students pursuing computer science and then total number of female studying are 6:5. So ratio is given as 6:5. Now, if in college P the total number of female students pursuing computer science engineering is 12 less than the total number of female studying in college Q. Okay, female here will be 12 less than students in college Q. What is the total number of female students in college P pursuing computer science engineering? Okay, fine. You're asked about this number. Should be 5 multiple. 12, 12, 12. No. Yes. 3 options. So from college Q, out of 1320, computer science students are 25%. 25% in the sense 1/4. Yes? What is 1/4 of this number? 1/4 of this number? 330. 330 are total people, in the sense both male and female together. Male to female ratio is given as 6:5. In the sense 11 parts. So 11 parts is equal to 330. Female are 5 parts. 5 parts is equal to how much? Let me calculate that. 1130 times 530 times is 150. These are female candidates from college Q. But you're asked about college P. That will be 12 less than 150. In the sense 138. 138. In college X, under university JKL, which is a separate one, the total number of students pursuing computer science students are 5% of the total number of students in university ABC. 5% of this number. Come on. 5% of this number. So these are candidates in college X who are pursuing computer science. That's what they said. In college X under university JKL, this is separate one. The total number of students pursuing computer science engineering is 5% of the total number of students in university ABC. If in college X, the respective ratio between the total number of students pursuing computer science and the total number of students pursuing electrical is 11:9. In the sense, this is equal to 11 parts. This is computer science and electrical engineering 9 parts. You need to calculate 9 parts. Okay, you can do that later. What is the total number of students in college X pursuing electrical engineering? Answer should be 9 multiple. Yes, yes. More than one option, you have to do it. Fine. 11 how many times is 275? 25 times. 9 25 times is 225. See, before going to answer this, I am verifying something for every question. You understand? And for previous question also I have verified. From college Q, you are going to get 5 multiple. 25% of this number is divided into 6:5 ratio. Females are 5 parts. 5 parts in the sense 5 multiple. And from that number if you subtract, you will get computer science female students from P. This is what you are asked about. In the sense, to this number, female students from college P, if you add 12 here, you will get female students from college Q. And that should be 5 multiple because that is 5 parts. And that's what I am verifying. 138 plus 12, is it 5 multiple? No. Yes. 138 plus 12, 5 multiple. This is also 5 multiple. No. No. Add 12, 5 multiple. If you have only one answer, then we can do it. But we have 3 options, so you are forced to do it. Here also, before going to solution, you are asked about number of electrical students, electrical engineering students, which is in terms of parts, there are 9 parts. 9 parts should always be 9 multiple. This is 9 multiple, this is also 9 multiple. I have more than one option, I need not to verify others also. I must do it. Next, what is the average number of students in college QRS? QRS. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Need to calculate students from? Yes. Instead of that, can't I subtract number of students from P and T together from 5500? Yes or no? 1300 plus 800. 2100. 25 plus 9. 34. Let me subtract 34 here. 2000 subtracted from 5000. 3000. 500 minus 134. 366. You asked about average by 3. 1122. Otherwise, you will be wasting your time to calculate S value. You have to add everything and then you have to subtract it from 5500 and then you have to use that number. Next. 59. The total number of students in college R and T together is what percent? More than the total number of students in P and Q together. P and Q together. PQ together is 1300, 800, 2100, 25, 20, 45. And from these two, 1300, 1000, 2300, 56, 9, 65. And you are asked about number of students from R and T together is what percent? More. 2365 is how much more than 2145? Need to subtract 2145. That of 2145. And percentage into 100. Right? Now, 2000, 2000 cancel. 300 minus 100, 200. 45 minus 45. Sorry, 65 minus 45, 20. So, total it is 220. 10% of this number? 214.5. Our number is 220. Answer is more than 10%. How many are there? How many are there? Our 10% is 214.5. But you need to calculate 220. This is more than this. Answer is more than 10%. How many options are there? 3 options are there. Let's see it. What about 1%? If we add 21, that becomes 230, right? Yes or no? So answer is definitely less than 11%, but more than 10%. Only one option. 10, 10 by 39. Next. In college, yes, the number of teachers is 1/11 of the total number of students in this college. Okay. If out of the total number of teachers, 36 are male, what is the respective ratio between the total number of male teachers and total number of female teachers? So first of all, you need to know yes value. How do you calculate? Wait. R and T together is 220 more than students from P and Q together. Yes or no? So P and Q together it is 2145. Yes. So this also will be 2125, 2145, 2145, 2145. How much is this? 4290. And apart from that, you have 220 more. 4290 plus 220. That will be 4510. Plus, yes, will give you 5500. True? Then yes will be equal to 990. Now, 1/11 of this are teachers. 1/11. 1/11 is 90. So, both male and female teachers are 90. Out of 90, 36 are male. Then what about female? 54. What is your question? Male teacher versus female teachers ratio you asked about. 18 2 times, 18 3 times. 2:3. (61) 22 square. Approximate? Not expected. Okay. 480. 484. 324. From this you need to subtract something. Take this value to right hand side, that becomes positive number, and take this to left hand side. Under root 256. 16. So from this you need to subtract 16. Yes or no? Let me subtract 16. 8, 7, 9, 2. 792 is equal to 36x. X is equal to this much by 36. 36 10 times? 360. 36 20 times? 720 plus 72 is equal to 792, correct? This is 20 times. This is 2 times. Answer 22. (8791) divided by 15 plus 132 plus 8 into under root 676, 26. This is equal to. Come on, do it. No other way. 15. 5 times 75. 12. 179. 8 times 90. 6 times 586 plus 132. 600. 710. 718 plus 8 times of this number. Take 10 times, subtract 2 times. 10 times of this number, 260. Subtract 2 times, 52. Subtract 52, 08. 700, 200, 900, 18, 8, 926. Fifth option. Divided by 14, right? Okay. Take this value to right hand side. Take this value to right hand side. 153 plus 21. Keep it aside, keep it aside. Root x plus something we have. And this is 2350 divided by 14. 280, 80, 45, 14, 3 times, 42. Okay. 14 once, 14, still you have 95, 95. How many times? 7, 6 times, 84, 110, 8 times, whatever it is, 6 or 7 or 8, whatever it is, doesn't matter, because that is the last digit number. Take this value to right hand side, minus 167, yes, minus 167, no, it matters, it matters, under root value kada. Be careful, wait, 14 once, 14, remaining 5, 6 times, 84, 11, 110, 14 sevens, 70, 28, 98, 98, no, should be 8 times, 80, 32, 112, should be 168. Because this is under root value, right? Need to be very careful with 1, because 7 square and then 8 square difference will be comfortable in number, right? So need to be very careful. Now take this 168 to right hand side, that becomes minus 168. 174 minus 168, so root x is equal to 6, x is equal to next 64.01% of 696. Let's read it as 700. 700% of 64 in the sense 7 times of 64. Don't calculate it. Let's keep it aside. 64 7 times into what is this? 0.2501. We'll write it as 1 by 4, which is equal to 28 square minus x. And x will be equal to 28 square minus this value. 4 how many times? 16 times. Right? Don't want to calculate this. I'll write 28 square as 28 into 28. And again I'll write 28 as 7 into 4. Here I have 7 multiple, here also I have 7 multiple. So take 7 common. 28 4 times, double double, 28, double, 56, double, 112, minus 16. 112 minus 16 in the sense, 96. So I need to calculate 96 times of this number. Take 100 times, subtract 4 times. 100 times of this number, 700, minus 4 times of this number, 28. Answer 6, 7, 2. If you are comfortable in 28 square, then you can do it. But I don't know 28 square. Seriously. Malli kashtapadali. X% of something is equal to 946 and you need to calculate x value. Okay, fine. Now what is this? Divided by. How much is this? 6. Can we treat it as 6090? 6000 divided by 6? 1000. 90 divided by 6? 15. So totally this is 1015. 1015 plus. This is 96, right? 8. 12 times, 12 3s, 36, and you need to add 36 here. Add 36 here, 1051. Upon this, 946 is what percent? Right? Yes or no? Near about 1000. Near about 900. Answer will be near about 90%. over